Hello, good morning, and welcome to the next video tutorial in the series that I've been doing on decentralized exchanges, or DEXs. In this video, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at ProtoFi, a new player in the Fantom ecosystem, and we'll take a look at some of the dates in terms of when this launched and what they're looking to do here in 2022. And as always, a couple of assumptions here. You have the Metamask wallet installed, and you have some Fantom FTM tokens in that Metamask wallet. And so here's what we're going to talk about in this video. We're going to use the ProtoFi DEX to swap FTM to Proton or Proto, their native governance token. We're then going to create a liquidity pair with FTM and Proton. We're going to stake it in one of their farms where we're going to be earning Electron or ELCT rewards. And I'm going to go into detail as to what we're going to do with those rewards. I'm also going to show you how we would harvest those ELCT rewards. And then the big question, would you stake those rewards or would you use their swapper feature with those rewards? And we'll get into more detail as we go. Now, again, I can't stress this enough, and this is my disclaimer, so again, if you wanted to fast forward by it, I recommend that you listen because there are some risks involved here. So all the information provided in this video tutorial is provided on an as-is and as-available basis, and you agree that your use of any such information is entirely at your own risk. You should not construe any such information or other material in my video tutorial as legal, tax, investment, financial, or other advice. Nothing in this video or on my YouTube channel constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, endorsement, or offer by myself or any other third party. I am not liable for the loss of any fiat, assets, tokens, or fees incurred as a result of you following the steps presented here. This is not an investment advice video, and I am not an investment advisor. The opinions expressed in this video tutorial are for general information, entertainment, and educational purposes only. They are not intended to provide specific financial and/or tax advice or recommendations for any individual or any specific cryptocurrency token or investment product. All right, now that little spiel right there, that disclaimer, is going to be important here because what we're going to be looking at are some crazy APR return rates that are available to you. So this is the ProtoFi homepage, right? ProtoFi.app. I've joined their Discord. I got some great response times in their Discord. Again, you can read this here, but you'll see that they had a Fantom pre-sale Fantom Mainnet launch January 2022 and NFT's new launch, and it looks like they're going to be doing some NFT work here in Q1, then moving on to a multi-chain launch and some other interesting things. Now, if you're like me, you might feel like you find out about things sort of like after the fact, right? Like, you know, you're coming in and things have already exploded, and then you're just kind of jumping on after the fact. Well, this is one of those projects, and when you see some of the APR rates that are being thrown around here, you might think that, you know, hey, we might be hitting this at just the right time. And that's kind of my feeling right now. But again, I'm going to have some disclaimers and some warnings as some of the things I've seen. So just be careful here. So let's enter their decentralized application, or their DApp. So this is really where all the action takes place. Proton is their governance token. Now, last night at right around 9 or 10 o'clock, this was hovering around 38 cents. And so, you know, everything's kind of on a run right now in the market. If you wanted to add Proto to your Metamask, all you want to do is make sure that you are on the Fantom Opera mainnet. And if I scroll way down here, you can see that ELCT, I'll show you how to add that. DAI, which is the stable coin, I'm going to show you how to add that. And there's Proto. And so how did I add the Proto? Well, I simply just clicked on Add Proto to Metamask. I love when they have this here so that you don't have to go out to FTM scan and try to find the contract address. So again, I added the Proto token to my Metamask. I've got some Fantom tokens in there. So let's take a look at the, first we'll take a look at the trade, right? We'll take a look at some of these options that they have up here. So the first is the exchange, right? Now, when you click on the exchange, this is where you would come in and swap if you wanted to swap your FTM to Proto so that you could participate in some of the farms. They've got the liquidity tab. Here's where you create your liquidity pair tokens or liquidity provider tokens, where we're taking two tokens in equal dollar amount and we're fusing them together to create this LP token, which is then what we stake in the farm. Now it says no liquidity found because all of the liquidity, and I did some testing last night, all of the liquidity that I had created, the LP tokens, those are staked. So you don't see them here. If I was to unstake them, you would then see them here, and then we could remove the LP pairing to get the native crypto assets back. In other words, the Proto and the FTM. All right, so that's the liquidity. Now the bridge, I'm not going to click on this actually, and I might as well actually, so let's just do that. It opens up another tab. It takes you out to this Xpollinate bridge site where you can bridge from different chains. And again, this is something that I didn't need to use, but it's there, so know that it's there. So again, we could do a swap. So I'm going to take 175 FTM, and we're going to get some Proto or Proton. Oops, sorry, it's right up here at the top. And so you can see we're going to end up with about 823 Proto. There's the slippage tolerance, 2.2%. You can see the price, 0.21 FTM per Proto. And so we're going to go ahead and run this through. And right now, again, so Proton's at 46 cents. If I was to come up here to the calculator, and let's go ahead and say 46 times, and what are we looking at? I just lost it. 46 times 823. There it is. So we'll say 823. And what is that? Whoops. Left out the decimal place there. So we're going to say 0.46 times 823. And that's going to give us right around $378, right? So this sounds about right. So let's go ahead and swap this out. I'll click Confirm Swap, and you'll notice the fees are paid in FTM. Now, when you do this for the first time, you may need to approve certain tokens, right? And especially when you get into the liquidity provider tokens, you might have to click Approve, and it's 3, 4, 5, 6 cent transactions in order to get those things approved. Sometimes you click Approve twice, and then you can run through. So, transaction was submitted, and I always close this. I like to come up here to the Metamask wallet, and you can see right there that that went down, and I like to wait for this to turn green to show that it was successful before we move on. So now if I went back into the Metamask wallet and we were on the Assets tab and I scrolled all the way down to the bottom here, there are the Proton tokens. Now, that was the exchange. Under liquidity, we talked about that. You could add liquidity. They've got some analytics. The farms. Now, this is where it gets very, very interesting. So let's take a look at the Nucleus farms. Now, that is not a typo. If you stake Proto FTM liquidity pair LP tokens in this farm, you are earning right around 1,600%. Now, the payout is in ELCT, Electron. Now, you might be asking yourself, okay, well then what do I do with those ELCT tokens? And we'll talk about that in a second, because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually harvest, and then we're going to add some things in. So my initial stake was $250. So $125 of FTM, $125 of Proto. I took some FTM that I had farmed and I was sitting on from my liquid driver, and used that in order to get in here to see just exactly what this was going to look like. So with $250, 125 in Proton and 125 in FTM, I did this right around 9:30 or about 10 o'clock last night is when I staked it right here. So you can do the math. I've earned almost $5, and you figure 10, so what, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we'll say it's 8 o'clock, so about 10 hours. So in 10 hours, I've earned about $5. So this rate is correct. If you look down here, there's another Nucleus farm where you can stake Proto USDC stablecoin LP tokens together, right? USDC is a stablecoin, and you create the Proto USDC LP tokens. And this is at 1,664%. Now, this has not moved a lot. This 1598 up here, it was right around 1612 last night. So my guess is it's because it's not very well known. Again, you saw that this was recently launched, and so that's why I kind of have this feeling like it's like, oh, I'm finally getting ahead of something before it blows up, right? And they've got right around $90+ million in total value locked, I believe. So that you can do the math on this and figure out how much you would kind of be earning if you had staked right around $250. So, you know, not bad for a 10-hour period. And now let's go ahead and you can see the token value. It was about 38 cents last night, 37, 38 cents. It's now 46 cents. So the 225 that the 250 I staked is now right around 255. And again, there were some fees involved there, so it really wasn't 250 exactly. So let's go ahead and let's create the liquidity pair tokens. How would we do that? Right, so I'm going to click on add liquidity. Now, I always like to put the token I have less of at the top. So I want to do the max of Proto, and I want to do FTM. And I'm going to click on the max, and you can see that's going to leave us some FTM because we need that to pay our fees. Again, always leave plenty of FTM in your wallet. So I'm going to click on supply, and let's go ahead and say confirm supply. And you can see over here, look at the phantom fee, 0.07, right? I mean, the fees on Fantom are really, really cheap compared to, you know, if you want to say Ethereum. So we're creating the LP liquidity provider tokens here. Again, it looks like transaction's been submitted. I'm going to go ahead and say, or I'm just going to go ahead and wait right here for this to finish up. And while we're waiting for that to finish up, I'll close this tab here. And again, if I was to transition back to the Nucleus farm, right? So here are two farms under Nucleus. And again, you can clearly see that I am actually earning that rate. This number just continues to go up, and it should go up rather quickly here once we add in these other LP tokens. Now, there are other farms here, the fusion farms. And again, I was doing some small testing, took 25 bucks, threw it in here to see what would happen. But I want you to take a look at the rates, the APRs that are being offered here. And specifically, there's an Fantom LQDR. And right now, that's paying out 235%. Now, when you compare that to what the LQDR Fantom pool is paying out on Liquid Driver, it is well below I think it's right around 107% right now. So again, they're offering some very attractive APRs here. And so I had some BOO and FTM, and they're paying out almost 300% on that. You can see $25, and in 10 hours, it's earned 11 cents, right? So again, not huge amounts, but definitely a good amount. So let's go back and check and see, do we have, all right, so the add liquidity failed. That's the first time something's failed here. Let's swing back over here, and let's go ahead, and I'm going to do a quick refresh, and let's try to run that through. And actually, it says it failed, but it looks like it might have worked. So let's go back to the farms. I'm going to go to the Nucleus farm here, and let's go ahead and wait for this to refresh. And we're going to allow this to refresh here. There we go. And let's go ahead and click on add because it's possible that it was there. Okay, so no tokens. Let me go ahead and click cancel here. And let's go back. Maybe it was with liquidity I needed to refresh in order to see the Fantom tokens that I was going to add. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and we're going to give that add liquidity another try. And so let's go ahead and select our currency here. So the two tokens we're going to be matching up, it's going to be right around 817 Proto. You might notice that's a little bit different. I paused the video. I wanted to check to make sure everything was okay with some stuff, and went ahead and swapped and reswapped. So here we go. We're going to take 174 FTM. We're going to create our LP tokens with Proto. I'm going to click supply, and let's confirm that, and hopefully we're going to have success here. Again, very small fees in Fantom that you have to pay, so definitely make sure you have Fantom in your wallet. Let's check and see here, and hopefully we're going to see that we've got some success here and that it doesn't fail out on us so that we can get these LP tokens staked in that Nucleus pool. And we'll give it a second here. I'm going to go ahead and close this. And let's double check that again. And so what should happen is we should see, there we go, we had some movement in the screen in the back, and my hope is that that actually did what it was supposed to do, and there we go. The liquidity has been added. So the LP tokens have now been created. And I apologize there, it failed out. But again, you'll see that happen sometimes, and I just wanted to pause the video and do some checking on my end to make sure it wasn't something that I had done wrong. All right, so we now have our LP tokens. So if I go back to the Nucleus farm here, which is paying out 1,594%. Again, who knows? I mean, I don't know how long this is going to last. It could be a massive rug pull. You never know. So don't ever put anything in that you're not willing to sort of see disappear on you. All right, so we've got our Proto FTM. Let's come over here. We have the LP tokens. I'm going to increase that. There they are. We're going to drop in all 376. And here, I believe, is where you had the approval button, like an approval button pops up. It wants you to approve certain things a couple times. And so then you go ahead and do that. And let's go ahead and take a look here. We've got a deposit pending. Again, I always love to come to Metamask to watch and see what's happening under the activity tab so that I know definitively, hey, did it fail? Did it not fail? What's going on? Is it queued? What's going on? All right, so we'll wait here for this to wrap up, and we'll give this a second here. It usually doesn't take too long. Again, I'm sure that people are finding out about this, so this is probably going to become more popular, so it might get a little busier. But let's go ahead and drop that out. We no longer need that. And again, just waiting for this to finish. So while we're waiting for this to finish, let's talk about this ELCT. So you're earning ELCT, and you can see it looks like my rewards were auto-magically claimed for me when I increased my stake. And we can confirm that by going to the MetaMask wallet. And again, the deposit worked. I've now got 4 Fantom left. Let's go to the assets. If I were to roll down here, there it is. So there are the 10.89 ELCT that I earned. So I've got those ELCT. They went straight into my wallet. Again, super simple to do. So what can we do with the ELCT that we're earning? And you've got a couple of options here. Now, the first option, let's come over to Fission, this tab right here, Fission. So here's where you can take your ELCT and stake it, and this was at 140% earlier. It's now at 204. So you can stake your ELCT and earn 204% APR, and you're getting paid out in DAI. So let's do that with the 10 and change that we earned, right? So we're earning 1,600% on our LP tokens in ELCT. And then you can turn around and take those earnings and stake them here. And again, as I said, the percentages here have moved around quite a bit, but they've definitely moved around. It was like 172 last night, then it was 140 this morning, now it's 204. And so we can see that we have staked those ELCT electron tokens. If I come down here now, we should see we have 0, or actually, this should update, I believe, and it should probably change out to 0 because, again, we've delegated those. We've staked those here. So here's my stake. That's the staked value. It was $5.08 based off, the fact that it's 46 cents. And that's an important point as well. The ELCT seems to be pegged to the price of the Proto, the Proton token. The price seems to be the same. Now, I don't know if that's going to be forever or if it's just for now or that's a coincidence. But again, it's definitely the same price or right around the exact same price as Proto. So let's take a look at details here. Now, here's what's interesting. Blocks until start. So this was at 12,000 last night. It's already down to 2173. And here's where you can add DAI to MetaMask. So if you're going to take your ELCT and you're going to stake it here, you can do this. Now, it's going to be interesting to see what happens when this finishes, because that's something that I haven't experienced yet. So, but again, we went ahead and threw this in here. that's how many blocks until we start. And then it looks like we're going to be earning 204%. Now, a couple important things as well. If you take a look here, we can unstake it and unstake it right now. So refilled and starting soon, check the details. So if you didn't want to do this, you could unstake and pull it out right now, or we could harvest our rewards. So again, I'm going to have to wait for this to count down to 0, and then it's going to start, but this is a great use of the ELCT. Now, if you don't want to take the ELCT and then stake it and earn DAI, which is a stable coin, you can come here to the swapper. And this is the only way. You can't purchase ELCT directly. You have to earn it in one of the Nucleus farms. That's where you earn it. Then you could either stake it here and earn DAI, and take a look, it's already up to 205, so it's going up. Or you could swap it here for Proton PROTO. Now, you'll notice, and pay very close attention here, it says that the penalty is 0 for now. My guess is that's going to increase, right? Or maybe if I was to put in some electron here, it would, the penalty, this would change if I try to, if I put some electron in here and try to get Proton. Now, once you get Proton, and this is kind of like your strategy for how would you back out. So you're earning ELCT, you don't want to do the fission and earn DAI, you just want to take that ELCT and you want to swap it out for, maybe you want to get Fantom. Well, the way to do that is you would come here, you would go ahead and select the amount that you want or click max, swap it to Proton PROTO, then come over to the exchange. And on the exchange, as we already saw, we can swap Proto for whatever, right? I mean, you could swap it for Spirit. You could swap it for, any of the coins that are listed here. You could swap it for the USDC stable coin if you wished, right? If you wanted to kind of shore up your position and maybe hold for a while, waiting for the price to drop, whatever the case may be. So that's what you could do there. So if we go back to the Nucleus farm, let's take a look at what's going on here. So as you can see, this is counting up rather quickly. We have a pretty decent amount staked in here, and we're earning 1,596% on this. Again, there's no lockup time for this stake. So I could click the minus sign, remove my stake, dissolve the LP tokens, and get my native assets back, the Proto and the FTM that I used. And then I could go to the trade exchange and swap those out if I wanted to do something with those. There's no deposit fee to do this right now. And again, these things may change, but as of right now, these aren't in play, right? So again, crazy opportunity. I get two senses, right? The sense is that, hey, maybe I discovered this before it blew up and went nuts, or maybe this is not the smartest of investments. So again, do your own research, be very careful out there. Let's talk about the last thing here, which is particle, the particle farm. So let's say you've got some Proton and you don't want to pair it with FTM and participate in any of the other farms. You just want to stake that Proton straight up. You can do it here at 176%. So here's another, sort of approach that you may take. We're in the Nucleus farm. We're earning a crazy amount of electron. We come over here to the swapper, and I can swap half the electron to Proton, to Proto, and then stake that at 170%. And then come over here and take the other half, stake it here, and earn DAI, right? So you've got all kinds of options here. But at the end of the day, the rates that they're offering in all of the pools that are here are absolutely off the charts. So again, be careful, do your own research, but there are some crazy opportunities right now on ProtoFi. And let's see what we're doing here on the Nucleus farm, just to kind of wrap this up. And this thing is going nuts. So we've earned 11 cents in however many minutes we've been doing this so far. All right, well, that is all I've got in this video tutorial. Again, I really appreciate you guys watching. Thanks so much. Best of luck to you out there. I hope you guys are killing it. Happy staking. And as always, I hope to see you in the next video.